Thanks, Rashida. It's so great to be here. And I'm really happy to be talking about meditation today because, to echo the previously stated sentiments, I can't think of another time when it's been as important for us to be able to find a way to use our innate mechanisms for self regulating, for feeling better, and for having a say in where our attention goes. So today I wanted to cover a few things in the few minutes we have together. The first is I want to talk about what I mean when I refer to meditation, and then go over a few ways that it can be helpful, things that it can help reduce, and things that it can help strengthen. Um, and then I'll talk about some ways we can incorporate meditation into daily life beyond the obvious. And if time allows, we'll finish with a brief exercise. Okay. So, when I'm referring to meditation today, I'm talking about mindfulness meditation, but certainly there are other types. Mindfulness is something that many of you may already be familiar with. It's been in the common vernacular for a while. When I refer to mindfulness, I'm thinking of something that is very secular and, for me, technique oriented, but it can be much more than that. But I'm referring to present moment, non judgmental awareness. So, anchoring your attention on something in the now, like as if your attention was a flashlight beam in a dark room, and you could decide what would be illuminated by your awareness. And what happens when you do that is that everything else kind of falls into the background a bit. And I'm sure you can imagine how that could be especially helpful during a time when most people are stressed, most people are having more trouble sleeping, they are probably experiencing some challenges in relationships that have been exacerbated by separation or isolation together or the current political climate and so forth. Um, so it's I think it's incredibly helpful in general to be able to strengthen that muscle that, again, you are born with. You already have the equipment, and all it takes is learning how to use it thoughtfully and purposefully to be able to start feeling better in a number of ways. Um, Many people probably have also noticed that when their stress is increased, not only do they have more anxiety and depression and sleep issues, and perhaps they're reaching for more comfort foods and maybe drinking too much, um, but they also may notice more somatic complaints like headaches. If you already have a pain condition, your pain may be more severe or more persistent, GI issues. You may have symptoms that you didn't really notice before. And so the wonderful thing about mindfulness is that it's been shown to have a number of benefits, including decreasing anxiety and depression and preventing depression relapse if you're prone to depression. Again, decreasing pain severity, helping with insomnia so that you can actually get a better night's sleep and fall asleep faster and have less rumination. Mindfulness can help people be less self-conscious, even as they become more self-aware. And mindfulness has also been shown to increase compassion. So compassion for other people, but also compassion for ourselves. And that's really vital. And I think an important component to managing our own worry and anxiety and self-critical thoughts and our own struggles with feeling down. Um, Something else that came up in some of the questions that were submitted was how we can be have more harmonious interactions with family members and friends who have different political opinions, and where these things tend to kind of blow up. And mindfulness, because it anchors us in the moment and helps to decouple our thoughts and feelings from what we observe, it can make us less reactive. And that can help us to respond to other people or just to things in our environment in a more thoughtful way. And I'm sure you can imagine how that could be helpful. Um, so, and I guess the last thing I want to mention is that not only can mindfulness help you self regulate in general, but just achieve a state of equanimity, a feeling of being centered in general. But it can help us to live in the present. Really, that's the only time we ever have. The past that we are either longing for or ruminating about is done for all intents and purposes. And the future that we often worry about or think, well, things will be better when, we are living in every moment in the future we worried about or longed for yesterday. And so, if we're not anchored in the present, it's possible to miss out on a lot of the things going on in our lives right now. So, in terms of the technique, many people are familiar with breath awareness, the moving one's attention to the breath or the sensation of breathing moving in through the nostrils, or the sensation of the belly expanding on the inhalation and relaxing back on the exhalation. And that's a really wonderful way to engage in mindfulness meditation. Another way is open monitoring, where you would treat your mind almost like a screen and just notice the thoughts and feelings and physical sensations as they move onto the screen of your awareness. But again, without pushing them away or judging them or trying to hold them close, just observing them almost like clouds in the sky. And just observing as they move past. Invariably, they'll be replaced by other thoughts and feelings. But many people have said to me that they have a harder time sometimes beginning mindfulness practice in that way. And some people will find that once they try to create that inner space, they notice they feel more anxious. And that's completely normal and it's okay. One option is to notice the new feelings of anxiety as they arise and just bring your awareness back to something neutral like the breath. But another option also is to engage in other ways of being mindful. Again, just being in the present moment that may feel easier in the beginning. So, Carol mentioned exercise, and mindfulness pairs actually really well with exercise. There's a budding area of research looking at mindful exercise, and among other things, being mindful can help you to notice resistance to starting an exercise program, worried about not being able to do something or feeling like it's going to be difficult, or feeling self-conscious or feeling tired. And to notice those feelings without, again, identifying with them or holding them too close or letting them balloon. And moving more of your awareness just to the act of putting one foot in front of the other. If you're walking or if you're jogging, or if you're swimming, feeling the water as it moves over your skin, or listening to the sounds of your arms slicing through the water. That's a really good use of mindfulness. Mindfulness can be applied to any activity, eating, and it can help prevent either over or under eating. Cleaning, homework, things that we may have, again, resistance to or feel like they're too difficult or are boring. Mindfulness just allows us to notice those feelings without having to amplify them or do anything with them. And it can actually make us do those things better. And in daily life, I think for students, especially if you're taking an exam or giving a presentation or defending your dissertation or anything, it helps to have a practice established already that can anchor you on something other than any feelings that are overwhelming. So, another way to practice mindfulness would be concentrating on a sense, like your sense of smell, or your sense of taste, or a feeling of touch. Mindfulness does not need to be overly complicated or done in just one way. Because again, all of these things train us to move our awareness into the present moment and become more and more skillful at choosing where our attention goes. So I'm not sure how many minutes I have left. What I'd like to do is a very brief exercise, and I'd like to invite you to just In your chair or wherever you find yourself right now, just identify a place in your body or your mind that feels neutral. And it might be something as simple as the tip of your nose or the lobe of an ear. And just for a moment, just for like 30 seconds or so, allow your awareness, most of your awareness, to move to that neutral place. And it might even be the feeling of your hand over your heart, and the feeling where your hand connects with your heart and your heart connects with your hand. And you can anchor the breath there as well. And you might notice feelings of warmth or coolness, gentle pressure. Sometimes when people move their awareness to a specific part of their bodies, they might even notice a little bit of tingling. And these are sensations you probably normally wouldn't notice at all because they're subtle and quiet. And if your attention wanders, that's fine. Once you notice that again, just as if your attention were a laser or a flashlight beam, you can bring that right back to the feeling of your hand over your heart, or the tip of your nose, or wherever your attention was originally. And you'll probably notice that you cannot have your attention equally in multiple places at once. And so any other thoughts or feelings, physical sensations, just kind of move off to the side. And what you'll find is that there might be moments where you don't notice those other thoughts or feelings or sensations at all. Just moments. But think about what that could do to help you feel calmer and more centered, regardless of what's going on around you. Just anchoring yourself in the now. Okay, so I'll leave you with that, but it's a simple technique that you can try anytime. And again, the more you practice mindfulness or any other mind body technique, the more quickly and easily it can help you recenter. Thanks.